Have you ever been before the opportunity of a lifetime only to find yourself stiff and frozen? Have you ever been in front of the opportunity of a lifetime and your knees got weak and you started shaking like a leaf? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make sure that you have supreme confidence where that will never happen again. So let's just get straight into the lesson today. First of all, confidence is based on having competence, all right? And competence is based on having clarity. So let's talk about the first idea. The first idea is that if I'm going to be confident, I'm going to have to be competent. And if I'm going to be, excuse me, if I'm going to be competent, then that means that I'm going to have some clarity about why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the first thing we need clarity of is the mission and the vision of why we do what we do. You see, that's real important. Why? Because once you have a mission and you are clear, crystal clear on what your mission is, then you get crystal clear on your vision of how to carry out that mission. Take our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for example. All right. He said in Hebrews chapter 10, verse number 7, Jesus said, "It is written of me, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God." So Jesus was very plain. It was very plain to him what his mission was. And that was what? To do the will of God. So that gave him a vision about how to do it. And if you want to be a confident person, then that means that you're going to have to be crystal clear on what your vision is on how to do something, but you have to have a mission that lights the fire for the vision. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That way you'll never stop no matter what happens because you're like, you know what? I have a mission. And then I have a vision of how to get this mission done. And because this is why I was put here on earth, that means that there's nothing that's going to deter it. It doesn't matter what happens because my mission ain't going to never change. All right. So as long as you got a mission, then you have a visionary way of being able to have that mission come out. So you take Jesus, for example. Jesus was, he was undefeated. He was so confident, so good at everything that he did. Why? Because he had put in so much practice. He said, "Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It's written of me to do thy will, O God." In other words, he like before the book was written, me and God, our Father, we were already discussing all the things I was going to be doing when I came to earth to explain to everybody on earth how to behave. All right. He says, so I'm really good at it. I'm really good at doing the things that I want, that we expect the man and women of God to be doing. He said, so what? So he said, I've really got three things I came on earth to do. I came to heal somebody that's sick, to bless somebody that's hungry, and to clothe somebody that's naked, to visit the sick and the prisoner in the affliction. He said, that's what I'm going to spend all my time doing. And I'm going to be really good at it too. I mean, you never saw a case where Jesus said, all right, I command you to get up from the dead. And the dead body was like, no, I'm not going to cooperate. Why? Because you just ain't good enough. You just ain't, you know what? You just ain't competent enough. I hear what you're saying, but I ain't got enough confidence in you. No, no, no. When Jesus went to the gravesite and told Lazarus to get up out of the grave, Lazarus didn't have no choice but to come forth. In fact, Jesus is so confident and so confident and had so much power until he had to call Lazarus' name and say, Lazarus, you come forth. Because if he had said, just come forth, everybody in the grave would have got up. Because that's the kind of confidence he spoke with. Are you hearing me? When he was 12 years old and he was having church, he's sitting in there talking to the Pharisees and talking to whoever was listening at church. They was like, wow, look at the way he answers these questions. Well, it's because he'd had so much practice answering questions. I mean, he had so many, I mean, he was the questioner, the questionnaire. He knew the answers to the questions before they was even asked. Why? Because he was God and man at the same time. But he had a lot of practice too, because him and his father had already been discussing things. Why? Because every time Jesus says something, he said, I'm just telling you what me and my father have been talking about. And me and my father, we on one accord. And he's a very good teacher, my father is. So he's been training me and training me and training me and training me and training me. And I'm just really good. I'm just really good because what? Because I got a mission. And because I have this mission, I've studied vehemently how to come down here and teach you all how to behave, because that's all me and my daddy been talking about. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? How we gonna get these human beings to act like God beings? How we gonna take them from out of that attitude and that disposition they have, and so that they can become people that behave like we behave? All right. In other words, how can we take heaven to earth and show these people how to behave? So Jesus is like, okay, I'm good with that. Let's go. All right. And God is like, okay, you're gonna be really confident, and you're gonna be really confident. Why? Because you're very clear about your vision. So that's the first thing. You need to be clear about why you're doing what you're doing. And then you'll be really good at what you're doing because you know that quitting is not an option. And once you know that quitting is not an option, you become crystal clear on what vision is going to take for you to be able to get something accomplished. And that way you won't be wavering, because the Bible says a double-minded person, a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. A double-minded person is unstable in all their ways. So that's why the wavering comes in, and that's why the confidence. That's why it lacks confidence. Like the presentations that you do, it lacks confidence because you're not clear about why you're even doing what you're doing. Because people are going to come and they're going to challenge what you're doing. Situations are going to come and they're going to challenge what you're doing. Life is going to come at you and challenge what you're doing, and you will waver in confidence if you don't even really believe that what you're doing is the movement and the mission that God gave you, and then you lose sight of how to do things. Now, you hear what I'm saying? You need crystal clear vision, but you can't have crystal clear vision unless you got a crystal clear mission. But they are not the same thing. A mission is something that you put that it takes a mission statement is a long statement, but a vision, it just tells you how we're going to get this thing done. Now, you hear what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. Make sure that you're crystal clear on your mission, and that way you'll have the confidence to get it done. The second thing you want to do is you want to be crystal clear. You want to understand um, how to help another person with their problems. In other words, okay, so for example, you want to know what a person's problem is in order for you to be good in the marketplace. You need to get close enough to the market to find out what the person's problem is, because your confidence when it comes across to a person, it'll be based on the fact that you really understand what's wrong with them and what's going on with them. See, in the marketplace, when a person asks you, what do you do? They're not asking you, what do you do? So you can go into a long tirade, long explanation uh, that kind of, which is the way most people do. They go into a long explanation, and the person is more confused than they were before they asked the person a question in terms of what they did, because the person is not answering the question and making it relevant to the person, because all they really want to know is, what can you do for me? So if anybody asks you that, then they don't really want to hear a long drawn out story about your life. What they really want to know is, what do you bring to the table? What, if I knew about you, could it help me or could it help somebody else? That's why people are really asking you that. So, but most people don't understand that. And that's why most people confidence, it wavers, is because they don't understand that the person is asking you a question so that they asking you a question to see if you can possibly serve them and if they can possibly refer you to somebody else. And most people miss out on that opportunity because they start going into a whole lot of things about themselves. But life is not about you and it's not about me. Life is about serving people. So when a person asks you a question, believe you me, that's your opportunity to let them know what you do for people. But you got to get close enough to the marketplace to even know what the person's problem is. Are you hearing me? Take the road to Jericho, for example. We have a guy that got stuck up on the road to Jericho. He got knocked off, beat down on the road to Jericho. So we got three people that came by. We got a Levite that came by. We got a priest that came by. So the priest comes by and he crosses on the other side of the street. Why? Because he doesn't want to get close to the problem that's in the marketplace. How can you have confidence to solve a person's problem and you're not even in the marketplace? Are you hearing me? You got to put your head you got to put your hand to the plow, and you got to put your ear to the ground, and you got to understand what are the problems that your brothers and sisters have, because that's why he was putting on earth to help solve my problems. That's why I was put on earth to help solve yours. Okay, so how you gonna even know a person's problem if you cross the street and you're just trying to take a peek from across the street? So we got a lot of people, especially religious folks. You got a problem and they just look at you from across the street like the priest. Hey man, I'll be praying for you. You know why? Because I'm not about to get close enough to find out what your problem is. It looked like from over here, looked like you got jacked up. That's what it looked like to me. So the last thing in the world I'm going to do is get over there close to some jacked up dude. Why? Because maybe somebody might jack me up too. But the way that you solve people problems and the way that you develop confidence is that you go into the fight. You don't go away from it. All right. You find out what the problems are. You got to be close enough to the marketplace to know what's going on with people. So he went on by. He didn't want to hear that. He said, I'll be praying for you. The number one excuse for churchy folk. Then the second guy goes by, and he's the Levite. So you know what the Levite is. It's a praise team leader. So he got on little skinny jeans, right? So he looking over there. He said, what's going on over there? He like, oh, man, look like somebody got jacked up over there. Well, the dude with the little skinny jeans, he ain't trying to find out what's going on in the marketplace. Why? 'Cause he's scared. His name is Scary Fred. All right. He like being on stage and singing and stuff. Everybody, he's a church superstar. So he ain't about to go out in the streets and do nothing to help nobody, nothing like, because he's nervous person, right? He's scared. He's gonna get jacked if he go over there. So he plays the guy out. You don't know what's going on in the marketplace either. So if you have the spirit, I'll be praying for you. You ain't gonna never have no money because you ain't never gonna be in the marketplace. You're too scared to even go over there where things are happening, where people have problems, and problems are a beautiful thing. because solving problems is how people is how you develop confidence, and it's how you develop competence by solving problems. And you look at problems as a wonderful thing because you are a person that's given to solutions. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And if that's you, congratulations, because you're on your way. All right. So this guy, he don't want to be bothered. That's the praise team leader. He'd rather he on his way to choir rehearsal. So he ain't about to stop over here and help nobody on the Jericho Road just I got stuck up. But then we have the third guy. The third guy's a Samaritan. So the Samaritan, he's like, you know what? Let me go see what's going on over here. It looked like it's some trouble in the marketplace. It looked like there's a problem in the marketplace. It looked like something needed to be fixed over here in the marketplace. So he says, okay, let me go on over here and see if I can help. So he goes over and he finds out, okay, so this guy has a problem. Well, the problem is he jacked up. Somebody stuck him up and beat him down. So he's like, okay, let me help fix this guy's problem. And he's a confident person. Why? Because he's a person that's been in the marketplace. See, you got to get into the marketplace to develop some confidence. That means that you got to start finding out what's going on with people, find out what's going on with their problem. And then you want to learn more about their problem than the person even knows about his own problem. And that's how you become a confident person. And that's how you become a confident person. Why? Because you can find out what's going on with people. Because when a person is in a problem, they don't understand their own problem. But when you're on the outside looking into the person's problem, you can see it better than they can because you're not as emotionally wrapped up in what's going on as they are. So naturally, in other words, people can't help themselves. If they could, then they wouldn't be coming to you. All right. So this guy can't help himself because he got stuck up and beat down. All right. So he got serious problems and he cannot solve his own problems, just like people in the marketplace. When you're talking to them, they cannot solve their own problems. All right. So when you talk to a person, you just study them more than they study themselves. And then you'll be able to have the confidence to be able to give them a presentation that'll help them with their problem because they don't a lot of times they don't even know what their problem is. Okay. And if they knew what the problem was, they don't know how to fix it, or else they wouldn't still have it because people don't just walk around voluntarily having problems that they can't fix. I mean, having problems that they're able to fix. People walk around having problems because they're not able to fix them. And this man is in the marketplace and beat down, and he's not able to fix his problem because he don't know how. But this confident brother that comes along, the Samaritan who's been in the marketplace, he has because ain't nowhere in the world he's going to go over here and just on GP. This guy's used to seeing trouble and he's used to helping people with their problems. That's how you get wealthy. That's how you develop confidence. You go looking for a problem to help solve. And so my man grabs him up and he grabs up this gentleman and he takes him to the inn and he says, listen, take care of this brother. Okay. He said, and if anything's wrong, if he needs anything more, put it on my tab and take real good care of him, because I'll be back to check on him again. So why did he just stay there and just linger, until the man comes out of rehab? Why? Because confidence means that you have to go out and you got to learn some more about how to help the next person with their next problem. So when the Samaritan leaves him there, he doesn't have time to sit there and linger and watch the guy come back and get his rehab. Because why? Because he got too many people he needs to help. And that's the way you build up confidence, by helping people. Listen, the way that you help people is by helping people. And then people will do what? They'll pay you a lot of money because you help them with the problems that they were not able to solve. That's how this goes in the marketplace. All right. So the second thing that you need to do is that you need to be crystal clear about other people's problems. And that means you're going to have to go out into the marketplace and look for problems. Find out what's ailing somebody. And then once you find out what's ailing them, help them. But don't stay there. Go back and learn some more so that you become more competent so that when you run into the next customer, you'll be able to help solve some problems at an even higher level. Okay. So that's the second thing. And then finally, the third thing is that if you really want to be good, if you really want to have supreme confidence, if you really want to make it in the marketplace, then just find out where the marketplace is going and get there first. All right. That way you could have studied what other people don't know anything about yet. And by the time they show up, they'll want to get with you. You can take Bill Gates, for example. Bill Gates said, listen, he said, if you want to get wealthy, just find out where the marketplace is going to get there first. So when he started back in the 70s, when he found out about this guy that had this DOS software, he said, wow, that's the direction that, America's headed in, that the world is headed in. They're going to start they're going to need personal computers in the house. He said, and they're going to need an operating system to operate the computers. So he's thinking ahead of time. Ain't nobody got no personal computer. IBM is selling computers to business people and big, gigantic computers that look like monsters in the James Bond movies. That's what they're selling. So nobody really has a personal computer. So he says, wow, and if they even have a computer, then they need to have operating system to operate the computer. So he made a deal with IBM. He said, y'all start making the computers. You put your name on the computer, but you put my operating system inside of the computer. And that way, these next computers that come out, they're going to all need an operating system. And I'll be able to handle all the computers or the majority of computers around the world. So that's what happened with Bill Gates. That's why he became so rich. The reason he became rich is because he went out looking for problems to solve. He was like, but I'm going to solve the problem that people got before they even realize there's a problem. See, that's supreme confidence. That means that what? I'm going to create markets because I'm going to put my time and my attention into studying and learning things that people don't even know they even got a problem with. So that's the three ways that you develop extreme confidence. Number one, confidence is based on competence, but competence is based on clarity. So the first thing you want to be clear on is what your mission is, why you're doing what you're doing. And then you need to be clear on your vision. But if your mission is strong enough, then your vision will be very clear too, meaning that you'll become really good at what you're doing. Really good at what you're doing. Why? Because your vision, it'll show you how to do it, but your mission will push your vision. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is that you want to be real clear about what's going on in the marketplace. You want to keep your ear to the ground about what's going on in the marketplace, and you want to become extremely good at finding out what a person's problem is, and then happy that the person got a problem. Happy because the only reason people want to get with you is because you're able to solve their problems, and that's it. Okay. I'm talking about the marketplace today, and I'm talking about how to develop supreme confidence. And a way to develop supreme confidence is make sure that you know what somebody wants better than they know. And then you can answer their questions so good until you can help them with problems they didn't even know they had. Okay. All right. So that's number two. And then finally, number three is go where the marketplace is going. Go get there ahead of time. Do things that people don't even know exist yet. Okay. Find out, do some research, find out things, what's going on in the marketplace. What would make me so valuable in the marketplace until if I was able to solve this problem that the person don't even know they got right now, then they would have to come to me to do business, and I would be the only logical choice for them to do some business with. Because when people can see that you really, really, really know what's going on before they know what's going on, then they automatically get in line to catch up with you. All right. So put some mustard on it today. Make sure that everybody else have to catch up with you. All right. Those are the three things, or three major things, I should say, that'll help you develop some supreme confidence. Okay. Clarity produces what? Competence, and competence produces confidence. All right. It's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Have an outstanding day. And remember, a stellar is a stellar does. Go out and have a confident day. Okay. All right. God bless you.